We are the audience and we are here for Shane's speech, puppy included.
So one of the most fortunate things that ever happened to me was missing the bus. And I didn't know it at the time in that moment, but it turned out to be a moment of serendipity for me. Now, serendipity is, a way we can say a unexpected happy occurrence. But another way to say it is just being in the right place at the right time. So this happened, way back in third grade. I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. And one morning I overslept and I woke up just in time to see the school bus driving away out the window. And my heart sank in that moment because I knew what I had to do next. I had to go wake up my parents and tell them I missed the bus and they had to drive me to school. And they were working late the night before, so I didn't think they'd be very happy about this, and I didn't want to, make them upset. But I got the courage up and I went ahead and did it. And they were a little grouchy, but they decided my dad would take me to school that day. So, yeah, he told me to get my backpack and wait for him downstairs. And he got ready for work, and we got in the car. And then, to my surprise, we didn't go to school. He took me to his work. And that wasn't a mistake. He told me he had called the school and told them I was sick and I wasn't coming in today. And he was taking me to work with him instead. And I'd never been to his work before, so that was a pretty neat idea, and probably would have been the memorable part of this day, but it wasn't. You see, right across the street from his office was an animal shelter. Now, about 6 months before this, we had lost our family dog, and we grieved for some time, and we were unsure, when or if would be the right time to get a new dog. And I suppose this sort of act of spontaneity between my dad and myself must have encouraged even more of it, because he decided to just take me across the street, just the two of us go look at dogs and see how it feels. And we weren't there for very long before we met a dog that was just very sweet and friendly, and he was medium-sized mutt, salt and pepper fur, kind of scruffy looking, and they said his name was Charlie. Now, to our surprise, Charlie had been at this shelter for almost a year with no adoption offers. And unfortunately, this being the 90s, kill shelters were pretty common, and he was actually scheduled to be euthanized the very next day. So we asked them to put a hold on that, and we wanted to bring the rest of the family in to meet him, make sure we all got along. And we did. We got along very well, and he was very sweet, so we took him home immediately. Now, Charlie, he went on to live a very long life full of love and adventure. He was very loved by all of us, and again, it being the 90s, it wasn't everyone wasn't always keeping their dogs on leashes, so he was free to roam around our very large backyard with a forest behind it. And we used to imagine what kind of adventures he got up to that we couldn't see. One of my favorite stories was when my neighbor said that he spotted Charlie wandering with a pack of coyotes. So Charlie ended up living for almost another 20 years after that. And when he finally did pass, it was very peacefully under a shady tree on a beautiful summer day. Now, this story is just something I like to remind myself that, all these love and memories we formed with him only happened because I happened to miss the bus on one particular day. And that brings me back to serendipity. As a college student who's approaching 40, it's easy for me to feel like I'm behind on life and that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. But stories like this help me remember that, everyone's timeline is different and things can happen in unexpected ways. And, I could have gone to college at a younger age, but whether it was for financial reasons or my own mental health or just not having a good support system, I know that I would have struggled greatly and I probably wouldn't have even graduated. So really only is this possible for me right now. And I can say confidently now that I am in the right place at the right time.